we're going to kick off with bringing all the athletes up, and then I've got a lot of cool announcements for you guys. So it's stuff that we're going to be working through into 2019, and a lot of stuff that's finishing off 2018. So first off, let's bring up Faiz Jacobs and TC Kusu. A round of applause for these two gentlemen. They will be kicking this main card off in a huge way. Like I said in the open workouts, these gentlemen are natural bantamweights. They've competed at the bantamweight level for their entire career, but we've chosen to put this as a featherweight fight. It's at a catch weight of 65 kilograms. I'm very excited to see both of them in action. On to the second fight of the night. I'm blind as well. We are moving on to Torbjørn Madsen versus Mzondile Hlongwa. I know who's on the card, I just don't know the order of the main card right now. Torbjørn, all the way from Norway, Bergen, Norway, former Cape Townian, and Mzondile Hlongwa, Durban boy, gone to Joburg to really sharpen up his skills, middleweight fight. Huge fight between a man that was in the TF1 house, if you recognize him. He really showcased himself and became a big star on that show. And Tor, who both of these gentlemen are undefeated. Tor, I think, is 5-0 at the moment and ready to rack up more wins. On to the third fight is Joseph Cummins, silky smooth. Gentleman from the United Kingdom, top welterweight against Armand Skeepers, local Cape Town boy, ready to continue his win streak and taking on a big name in the organization. And then the two title fights. Let's have a round of applause for the bantamweight contenders, Cal Eleanor and Lutando Biko. Come on, boys. What a fight that's going to be between two absolute specimens in the sport. Cannot wait to see these guys in action. I mean, that's just unadulterated skill between these two gentlemen. If you've seen any one of their fights, you'll know that this is one of the ones to watch. And then the headliner, Cape Town's favorite son, Gary Joshua, undefeated, an absolute phenom, is looking to secure gold against a prolific champion, the flyweight title holder, Nkazimola Zulu Boy Zulu, who's coming up with an AK-47, looks like it. Better be a belt in there or something, not paperwork. Thank you very much. Okay, let's kick it off. I did want to have an announcement. We lost a heavyweight fight that I was really looking forward to seeing. Two Cape Town boys, Nico Yamji was going to be facing off against Jean Besaidenote. Jean unfortunately injured his shoulder, so we had to pull him off the card, and I've been scrambling to look for a fight. Then, all of a sudden, Tabani Ndebele, somebody that had fought Nico Yamji before, said, hey, I'll step up. Nico stepped up to help out Tabani when a fight fell apart for him, and he thought he'd return the favor. So we're going to have Nico Yamji and Tabani Ndebele facing off in this fight card. Two mega heavyweights, such great fighters. And since their last fight, they've come leaps and bounds and have transformed into brand new athletes. This man's boxing is turned into something else, so expect magic there. There's another announcement that I wanted to make. Oh, yes. EFC is launching its very own Performance Institute. We are launching it in Paulsdorf in Johannesburg. I know you Cape Town people are like, what the hell is going on? But when you come up there, it is a mega institute. It's in a massive, massive space. You have got to see this thing. We're obviously going to be doing a big launch, and you guys will be able to come in there and see what it's about and see how these guys train. On to the press conference. I'm going to kick it off, and we'll go through a range of things that we want to announce throughout this press conference, but let's open it up to the floor. Anybody have questions for these phenomenal athletes?
Firstly, Joe Cummins, welcome back to South Africa. How does it feel to be back?
Yeah, thank you very much. It feels good to be back. I've had some time off, just over a year, but as you know, I've been rebuilding a new gym. But I've been still training, and more so than anything, I've upped my game and became a lot better as well.
Question for Armand. A big question from the last time you were in Cape Town is the issue of weight. What procedures have you put in place to make sure you will make weight this fight?
The last time, it was a heartbreaking one. I'd rather die before not making weight, so I did a lot of tweaking on my diets and stuff, and I found the right one, and yeah, you guys will see a new me.
What do you think, Joe? You think he's going to make weight?
It don't matter if he doesn't anyway, man. I'll fight him whatever weight.
Would you fight him at 9 kilos heavier?
Anyway.
Wow. You heard that first, yeah, eh? So, no, you won't be 9 kilos, right?
Cool.
Right.
This is Lindy calling up from CSA. My question is for Cal Eleanor. And so you look probably looking forward to Saturday, and you coming all the way from the UK. So what in particular do you think you'll be able to offer the Cape Town crowd coming this weekend?
Anytime the big skinny fellas in Cape Town, magic's going to happen. So just tune in, that's all I can really say. Like, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be a war. Two top class athletes coming into scrap. Like, what more could you want? Both from completely different backgrounds. It's going to be an absolute war. Just can't wait.
Did you say every time they bring skinny fighters in?
Every time the big skinny fella comes in, me, there's going to be magic. It always is. So
It is.
Just tune in. Thank you for the question.
Question for Lutando. You've been kind of quiet in the build-up to the event so far, other than in the countdown. Now that you actually have your opponent next to you, do you have anything to say to him?
I'm always like that, man. Through all out of my fight, I'm always respectful towards my opponents. That's how the sport should be, man.
Did he call you out? Was he calling you out for a fight, or was he just calling for the title? For the title,
Calling
right?
for the title.
Yeah, awesome, and you were calling out for the title quite a bit, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. A question for Faiz. Firstly, what's your opinion on the bantamweight title fight, especially since you faced Carl before? Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's a good one. Both men have their own style. So to see this a lanky guy versus a short guy, and they both like to grapple. So it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to get their way. How I fit into that picture, I'm very excited to face whomever out of that fight. So if that becomes available, I'm available. I'm available 365.
This is a question for anyone on the podium who would like to answer this question. There's an audience. The sport is growing in leaps and bounds around the world. That's the kind of information that we receive. And I think for an audience that doesn't know much about MMAs, there's an interesting element that people are interested in. It's about the hugs and shaking hands. Lutano talked about respect. Apparently, that's an important element of the sport. Does anyone want to answer that question? Why is it important? Why is it important after a game you shake hands?
100%. I think as martial artists, we know what the one goes through. We know what the other one goes through. We give our all to be here, to put on performances. We bleed, we sweat, we have to diet. There's a lot of sacrifice involved, and martial arts comes with a lot of honor. So naturally, there's a lot of respect.
I'm trying to think about all the guys up here, and it like from my perspective, I look at it, and it does depend on the fight, but majority of the time, bloody faced, busted noses. I mean, this guy's kicked in a few faces in his lifetime, and once the dust settles, you've got respect. You don't want that guy to be genuinely injured, but at the same time, it's war. The guys are going out there to prove who's the better man, and woman sometimes.
EFC put up a post saying that Delcha is busy dropping to middleweight to fight Dricus. Can you elaborate on this, please?
Okay, so let's just dispel any rumors. Champion Dolce is a fantastic prospect for the organization. He's a huge Cape Town draw for us. And right now, our main objective is to get Champion Dolce to fight Dricus du Plessis. That is the fight every single fan in this room, across the spectrum of mixed martial arts and globally wants to see. But there are two burning issues at the moment. The one is that Champion Dolce has been offered a R1 million contract by a massive promotion internationally. He's still contracted to EFC. So we're looking at that and seeing if that's something that we can integrate. And then the second thing is just locking Dricus into the fight. We have spoken to him. We've sat down with him. He isn't saying no to the fight, but he hasn't signed on the dotted line. Champion Dolce has agreed to that fight in principle. So that's why he cannot defend his heavyweight title. And further to that, the reason that we're going to have to now announce a huge fight for December is that with Champion not being able to go up a weight class to heavyweight, and I know a lot of you guys are going, damn, like I would have liked to have faced him at heavyweight, he is going to be cutting down, which leaves a massive gap at the top there. So we're going to be putting on Ruan Potts against Jared van der Rohe, who arguably beat Andrew van Zyl in a 5-round war for the interim heavyweight title, which will be a spectacular fight in December. So with all that said, Champion and Dricus, we're trying to make that happen. And in the meantime, we're going to put on Jared van der Rohe and Ruan Potts in December. Yeah, woo, absolutely. What a cool fight.
That's some big news. Thank you. Question for Zulu. We're here again. What's going through your mind this close to the title fight again? And what's going to happen on Saturday night?
What's going on in my mind right now, it's I'm just picturing myself mooring this guy so bad because he said something on a countdown show, like swearing at me. I didn't like that. I thought he's a nice guy. So I'm really angry now. I just wanna cut him like so bad. I just wanna hate him. I didn't like that.
He's the champ. He should know how the media works and how hype works and everything like that. The media will edit things around to obviously hype the fight. If he wants to believe that, he can believe that. I'm a martial artist at the end of the day, but whatever I say doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're going in the cage, we're going to handle business.
It does matter, bro. You can't say something like that. There are kids watching this sport.
We're going to handle
You must
business.
respect yourself. You have a kid, bro, as well. You should, if your kid sees this video, what is he going to think my dad is like? Huh?
But you must understand. I don't even know why I need to explain. If we are
You don't have to explain it, bro.
If we are speaking,
I think what you should do right now is just to shut up and talk to me in a cage like you said. Shut up. I didn't like what you said to me, really.
At the end of the day, I don't even want to speak. We're going to handle business in the cage, and what happens, happens. There's no use me sitting here and working myself up and saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So we'll handle business come Saturday. Simple. I'm here. I'm the guy that accepted the fight. All the other flyweights didn't want to accept the fight to fight you. I'm right here. I'm not running away. I showed up.
Yeah, I can see you right here,
see.
but save that for Saturday.
Yeah, save
But,
it. Save your
you're
neck.
the only
Save your
guy
neck.
who's brave
Protect
enough
your neck.
to get Craig real proper.
Protect your neck.
Protect what?
Protect your neck.
Keep
your
your
neck.
hands up.
Yeah.
Keep your hands up.
Go for it. Go for it.
Where is the closest hospital here? Keep your hands up.
We'll see, brother. We'll see.
You're not gonna see anything. They're gonna see because you'll be sleeping.
Wow.
I'm going to bring it on to Torbejon. You're being thrust from your first fight was on the prelims. Now you're on the main card. I hear there's a big broadcast deal in the works for your home country. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, the broadcast deal's just been announced, so happy days. It's very exciting. For me, well, there's two parts. There's for me and there's for MMA in my country. For me, it's a big deal. It's a lot of promotion. It's excitement. But at the end of the day, the task at hand is the same. The stage, it changes. These things, they're illusions. They don't matter. At the end of the day, it's me and him in a cage. And I'm very comfortable with that. I'm very happy about the deal on a larger scale because it promotes... I can't compete in my own country because it's illegal. That's very frustrating to me. I don't think it's going to be legal whilst I'm competing, but if I can be an ambassador, awesome. If I can help the sport evolve after I'm done as an athlete, don't worry, I'm not quitting yet. Not for a long time.
Good.
But if I can help it evolve, sure. And that's why it's important to me. You were talking about earlier about, you were asking about how we feel about, you know, showing respect in the sport. I'm a clinical psychologist. It's important to me how I'm perceived. And it's important to me how this sport is perceived in my country. Because this could contribute to laying the groundwork for this sport's growth in Norway. So to me, it's a huge deal. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to the EFC. I'm happy that I get to fight on the first event of this deal. But regardless of that, I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Tor. Thank you, Tor. It is a massive deal to EFC to be signing with TV2. What's essentially happened is this gentleman stepped up onto the platform and said, guys, in my country, it's illegal, but one of the biggest, if not the biggest, news network in your country has opted to show, or broadcasters opted to show EFC in Norway, which is massive. So he is leading the charge to really bring MMA to Norway. So a round of applause again to this guy. Phenomenal.
Question for Ms. Wandile. You've had a lot of success since the TF1 show in EFC. You're still undefeated, but now you're probably fighting your biggest fight of your career. How do you feel about the fight, especially that it's going to be broadcast in Norway as well? And then how are you going to win the fight?
Thanks for your question, bro. I'm ready for the fight. And I think it's my time now. And because I want to grow. So if you give me the guy like he's 5-0, there's a good challenge for me. So I'm ready to fight him, and I think it's a good step for me. So after this, I hope gonna be something big come. So when I beat him, I hope everyone will know who I am. Thank you.
Thanks, as well.
Another question for Graham. Can you give us some updates on TF2, please?
Yes. Man, I've been excited about this. So with the Performance Institute launching, we want to do a second season of the hit reality show, The Fighter. The first season featured undefeated middleweights from around the world, staying in an amazing house and fighting it out till we had one man left, which is Brendan Lazar. We are going to be announcing that it is all-female cast. 10 female flyweights from around the world will be ascending to South Africa, and we will be starting to film that as of 2019. So this is a call to all the female flyweights from around the world. We are looking for you. If you think you are good enough, enter the show. Go onto our website, enter the show. We want to see what you guys are about, and that's going to be a phenomenal fight, phenomenal show. So I mentioned one of the coaches already, Brendan Lazar. He was the winner of TF1, and because of what's happening in the organization's middleweight division, Dricus du Plessis is the middleweight champion. He does not want to fight Brendan Lazar. He has made it quite clear that that is not a fight he wants. So we are going to be putting on an interim middleweight title fight between Brendan Lazar and the return of Gareth Soldier Boy McClellan to EFC. Massive news for the organization. So those two gentlemen will be the coaches. I would have loved for them to be here, but I want to shine the spotlight on these guys. That's what it's about today.
Zulu, you've been quite outspoken in the past about fighting JP at bantamweight. On Saturday night, there'll be an interim champions. What are your thoughts on this?
Sorry, man. Why are we even talking about JP? We don't need to talk about JP. He's a girl. He ran away and go fight somewhere else and doesn't want to fight here. So let's don't talk about that guy. So what is the question again? Sorry.
You basically answered it. Thank you.
You answered. Okay. One more question. Give me another question.
Okay. Would you be willing to step up to challenge either Biko or Eleanor?
I would love to do that, but since it's quite a boring fashion, we have all two division champions like Dalcha, Drikas. Now it's gonna be Zulu. So it's not cool. Let's just give another guys a chance. You know what I mean? You can't have like one guy having 3 belts. And then the other guys, they don't have a chance to fight for it, and then you don't have a time to defend it. You know what I mean? And that doesn't give other guys the opportunity to compete and shine, and around the world. So I don't think it's cool. But if I have a opportunity, if there's no one wants to fight Bantam, I can go up anytime and fight. I don't care. But let's just let these 2 guys that are in the sport to fight for a Bantam title, let them fight. I just wanted to fight JP because he's been talking too much that he can beat me and his friend, the midget one, BK. But when it's time to fight, they don't want to fight. They run away. You know what I mean? So I just want to say between Carl and Lutando, may the best man win, and that's all.
Spoken like only Zulu boy can say it, right? Just so we're all clear on exactly what is happening in JP's world. Congrats to him on the DQ win in Brave. He was signed there for a 1-fight deal. We are going to start our campaign to get him back into contention for one of these guys, whoever wins, because ultimately we need one champion, like Zulu says, and he is an exclusively contracted athlete. He was only allowed to go there for 1 fight and compete there. So we'll be getting him back. So there'll be a little bit of resolution in this whole thing, and maybe sometime in this near future we'll have JP Bay sitting on this side and Zulu Boy on this side, and we can... No, I'm not saying you're fighting. I just like to see you two in a press conference together. Zulu's over him, mate. Doesn't want to know about him.
Question for Joe. You've only had 1 career loss, and that was...
That weren't really a loss, though, was it? Everyone watched that fight. Yeah. Didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
What do you think about that guy?
It was just a premise. It was just about up to
the worst fight on EFC ever. Dead.
And then you came back with a quick win against Sean DeLange last time we saw you. Do you feel that if you win this, that you're in line for a shot at the title? And we know Dricus won't ever be defending soon. So would you be interested in fighting Gunther Kalunda?
Yeah, I'd fight him. A lot of people don't know, but my first fight that I was supposed to have in the EFC when I first got signed was supposed to be against Dricus. That was my first fight, and then whatever happened, that didn't happen. Well, I've said to Graham on many times that I'll take short fights, short notice, and I'll fight at 70 kilo, Martin Van Staten for the bout, or Kalunda at welterweight for the bout. So I like all the lads say, we all respect each other, we're all here to do a job, but I believe I'm a better mixed martial artist in both divisions.
How exciting is it that we've got, awesome, round of applause for Joe, but how exciting is it that we've got all these crazy fights lined up? We've got contenders like Joe coming in, he's looking to make his mark. We've got Conrad Seaby's going to be facing off against Luke Michael. That could be a welterweight contender fight. Gunther Kalunda's at the top of that pile, and Dricus can't make that weight. He's got to fight champion Dolce, so we won't see anything in that division for a while. And like Zulu said, we want to harness these divisions and make sure that the guys get the rightful fights. So a lot of exciting stuff for 2019.
Cool. Question for TC Kusu. Firstly, welcome to Cape Town. How does it feel to be thrust onto the main card and in the opening fight, which is actually quite a prestigious slot?
Thanks for the question, Guy. You know what? I think from your first days you walk into the sport, you await days like these. Yeah, it comes in a very short notice, but hey, we stay prepared. We come up. It doesn't happen accidentally. It comes with long nights and hard work. And yeah, what a weight close of the year. I can't wait for this fight. It means quite a lot to me, coming up the ranks. Yeah.
Awesome. He was the natural. I mean, TC's always knocking about looking for great fights. So it was really easy for me to get hold of him, and offering him a fight is always a pleasure because he puts on a hell of a performance. And against that guy, it's going to be fireworks.
I just want to say thank you for TC to taking the fight, because we had opponent change after opponent change after opponent change. I said, just get me someone that would step in there.
You're dangerous, buddy. What must I do? Hey?
I see you did the best you can. Thank you to TC.
Thank you.
Question for Armand. Obviously, you're more of a submission specialist and quite a brawler. Do you feel that Joe has enough ground to defend against you?
No, not at all. I'm the best grappler in the EFC.
Wow. Cool. Gotta believe it, baby. That's what it's about.
I'm not going to ask for a grappling match, but Gary, your face took a little... Sorry, can you repeat that on the mic, please?
Maybe Aman must come down to flyweight.
No, but
You mad?
come up.
You mad? You have to go up. Definitely.
Graham, what else? What other news can you break for us?
I think I've covered mostly everything. We've done the... I mean, the big news of the hour is the fact that we've got so many things happening for 2019, and we are laying the foundation now. That's what these fight cards are about for November and December. The females will be the headliner for EFC in December. So we have announced Kiara Penko, the strawweight champion, will be defending her title against Cheyenne Flismus, who's a very popular, very feisty lady that just fought against Polish Karolina in a phenomenal fight. But what it's really about is Cape Town this Saturday. We have got such an amazing fight between two prolific featherweights, flyweights, guys that are at the top of their game and really looking to make it happen. Do you want us to close, Guy?
Yeah, I'm done with questions.
Do you have any more questions? Because Zulu wants to say something quickly. Double mic it.
Bet exchange, baby. Go and bet on me. Okay, cool. I just want to say congratulations to Magic Don Match, EFC superstar, for his what a hell of a knockout day. He go there and show the world that fighters from EFC, fighters from Africa, South Africa, they can really do it. So well done, my man. Yeah.
All right, and with that, and I want to say from EFC side, amazing work, Don. You know, the guys didn't give you much credit when they went over there. We heard that it was one of those discounted sort of situations where you go into an organization and they didn't know what we knew as EFC and South African MMA fans, that our boys are amazing and shit hot and can really bring it. And that's what he did. So well done, Don Madge. I'm going to close and say thank you very much